Welcome to this video by Resident Tech Work. This is part 3 of a 3-part series looking at creating a pause menu system for Unreal Engine. The menu currently has return to game, load game, save and quit options. The first part showed how to pause the game, return to it or quit out to the desktop. The second part showed how to add save and load game options to the menu. This final part will show you how to add the date information to those slot displays. We're starting where we left off, with the ability to save and load our player information into slots, but having to remember which slots we used. So, let's get started. Go back to the pause menu folder and go to the Save Games folder. Then right click and select Blueprint Class and search for Save Games. And call this BP Slot Saves. Then right click in the browser area again, and this time search for structures in that search box at the top. And we'll name this st_load save slots. Open that up, and we want to add the variables slot name with type string. The next one's last saved, and has a data type of date time. If you start typing date, it'll come up. And then finally has save, and this is with type boolean, and then save and close that. Go back into the BP slot saves you just made and add the variable slots. With the type st_load save slots, which is the structure you just created. Compile, and with the slots variable selected, over in the details panel on the right, next to the variable type, click the drop down and change the type to an array. Now at the bottom of the details panel you'll see there's a value for slots, but this only gives you one available value. So compile, come back down, and there's now a plus sign. If you click this 4 times, then open up the index members and type slot 1, slot 2, slot 3 and slot 4 into each of the slot name fields. And compile, save and close. Now we're going to save the file data in a separate file, which I will call datereg. This means that we do not have to load every game just to find out its save date and time. This will have to be called whenever a save is made or when the slot menu is opened. Back in the game instance, find the init node that we created previously. Go to the loop node, and from the completed pin, draw out and search for does save game exist and name the slot datereg. Draw out the return value and make a branch, and from the false pin search for create save game object. And the class should be BP slot saves. Draw out the return value and promote to a variable and call it save slots. Now find a large open space, right click and create a custom event. We'll call it Save Dates. And over in the details panel, add an input called slot name with type string. Now normally we would want to promote this to a variable, but we already have a variable called SV slot names that we can use. So link this to the Save Dates node. Draw out a string and search for does save game exist. Again, the slot name's datereg. Use the return value for a branch. And from the false pin, find create save game object. And the class is BP slot saves. From the return value, find save game to slot. And again, slot name is datereg. And back at the branch, from the true pin, search for load game from slot. And the slot name is datereg. Now pull that forward and go back to the save game to slot node you just finished false sequence with. Connect its output back into the input of the load game node. From the return value, cast to BP slot saves. And drag the save slots variable in, set and connect those back up. And from the output, find get slots. And from there, for each loop, and then from the array elements pin, we want to find break st load safe slots. If you drag in the SV slot name variable above this break node and draw out a string and finds equals exactly, and it's the string one you're wanting, and link the other pin to the slot name output from the break node. Use the output from this to create a branch and link this back to the for each loop. So that'll be it. Now from the true pin of this branch, create another branch. And then drag in another SV slot name variable. Draw out and find equals exactly the string again. And this time fill in slot 1 in that box. And connect the output to the branch's condition pin. From the true pin of this branch, find set members in st load safe slots. And with this node highlighted in the details panel, make sure you select the last saved and has save tick boxes. Now to the left of this, if you search for get save slots, drag out and get slots, and then draw out and search for get a reference. And this actually allows you to alter the array values directly. In the integer field, make sure it's 0, which it will be in this one. And move that and connect it to the structure ref of the set members node. And from the last saved pin, draw out a string and find UTC now, which is the timestamp for just now. And put a tick in the has save box. Now this set of nodes, just move these along a bit, this set of nodes actually sets up the save items for the buttons. So we're going to copy this set of nodes and paste them 3 times. Yes, that's it. Now in each set you'll have to go through the slots and change the comparisons there to slots 2, slot 3 and slot 4. Likewise in the get for the arrays indexes we'll have to change that to 1, 2 and 3. And then connect those through the branches. The false goes to the true in each case. And just move them up slightly, false to true. Except for the last set where we want to take out that branch in the comparison for the final set there. And the false will go straight into the set member node. And then just tidy that up a wee bit. Then connect all the outputs through a delete game in slot node. This is just so that any slot that's there will be deleted. So we've got fresh, guaranteed a fresh information. And slot name is datereg. They connect out to a save game to slot. Slot name datereg, of course. And drag the save slots variable across for the object. Now this process allows the date and time for each save to be recorded into the datereg game save. So we'll compile and save, and now we've created the datereg file, we need to make the information it contains appear on buttons. So we go to the W slot menu and go into the graph. This is where we can make it appear whenever the slot menu is opened up or when a button needs updated due to a new save being made. For this we'll need a new function, so put in plus over there and type in refresh slot data. And away from the function node, you drag in the button slot 1 variable and draw out a string and find the button text block. Search for text and then under the W button, you see it there, and get button text. Draw a string and find set text text. That's the one at the bottom there. And if you copy this and just paste it 3 times for each button. And change the buttons. 2, 3 and 4. And then link them all together. And change the text in each field to empty. So we're guaranteed that when you start this function, the slots will all say empty. And then from the last one, draw out and search for does save game exist. And slot name again is datereg. And from the return value, make a branch. And from the true pin, search for load game from slot. and slot name date reg. And cast this to BP slot saves. And then drag in the save slots variable and set and connect that back up. From the variable out, you can search for get slots. From the slots, search for each loop and connect that back. And from the completed pin of the loop, draw out and add a return node. And from the array element, draw out and search for break st load save slots. And from the loop body pin, draw out and create a branch. And from the has saves pin of the break node, connect that to the condition pin of that branch. And then from the true pin of that branch, create another branch. And from the slot name of the slot name pin of the break node, search for equals exactly string and type in slot 1 in that field. And connect this to the condition pin of that branch. Now we need to go back and copy the button 1 block, the button text block and set text node. I want to copy those all and then bring them back over and paste them back in next to that branch and connect them up. Now to get the text for that, we want to go to the last saved, convert it to text, search for to text, and then connect that into the text pin for that one. And this set of nodes creates the text for the buttons, so we want to copy and paste this back in 3 times for each button. And then link them through the branches, false to the branch in on each except for the last one. We want to remove the branch and that comparison and just link straight in. Then we want to go to the comparisons there and change slot 2 and slot 3 and connect the break slot name to each comparison node and the last save node to each of the 2 text nodes, and then change the button slot nodes on each of those sets. Now I want to go back to the branch at the start of this function, and from the false pin, draw out and search for create save game object. And the class is BP slot saves. And draw out and find save game to slot. And the name is date reg. And draw the slot saves variable over into the save game object field. And then at the end of that, add in a return node. And then we'll compile and save. Oh, hold on. Oh, I've missed that last one. Connect that up. Go and compile again. And save. And return to the event graph. Now to make all of that work, we have to add a link to the refresh slot data function we've just created after the save slot node in the event graph. So put that across and add that in. We also need the updated buttons to appear when the slot menu is first opened. So find an open area and search for Event Pre-Construct. Pull out a string and search for Refresh Slot Data. Finally, return to the game instance and find the Save Slot event. And at the end of that sequence, add the Save Dates node that you created. In the Save Slots node there is a slot name variable. If you just connect in the SV slot names, and that will take care of that. Compile and save. Now when we go back to our main scene and press play, if I just move the character, and I'll lose a little health by jumping off the ledge. And I lose a little more. Then move to a new location, pause the game, and hit save. The date and time appear in the slot that I've chosen. I can then return to the main menu and quit out. And if I then restart, pause, and select load, the information will still be on the button and takes you to the correct position with the correct health. So you now have a pause menu where you can select resume, load, save, or quit. As mentioned in the last video, you'll have to decide how detailed you want your saves to be, but this video series has shown you the basics of how to get it all working. And in case you want to know, the save files are located in the Saved Games folder, located below the saved folder of your game. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.